Welcome to the Coach's Corner. I'm Mike Van Hooser. Just wanted to come on here and talk to you about just the end of the year. And I think it's a great time to think about this past year, what's gone on, what's gone well, what's been a challenge, and just to really refocus, recharge, and get ready for the next year. And I use this time to start to wind down, to really reflect on my past year and to think about the goals that I want to accomplish for the new year. And I think anybody who is focused on being their best is doing that kind of process around this time. And one of the quotes that's really resonated with a lot of people that I've gotten a lot of feedback in the book that I wrote, Moments, Making Your Life Count for What Matters Most, is this quote of learn from the past, prepare for the future, perform in the moment. And I think there's so many times that people want to live in the past. They want to go back to times when they weren't as challenging, or maybe successful times that they've had, or they live in this circumstance that they've had for many years and allow that to affect them because it was a bad moment, and they don't feel like they can get out of that rut of what they have experienced in the past to have a brighter future. But the quote says to learn from the past, not to live in the past. And I think it's important that we learn from past experiences. And in our work with athletes and also business leaders and entrepreneurs, we talk about learning from the past and getting them to write down not only things that they can learn from and improve upon in their performances, but more so even to focus on things that they did well in past performances and past seasons of life so that they can replicate that. And I think that's what we're trying to do when we talk about, being your best and, beating yesterday and becoming your best every day, is to learn from the things that we did well so that we can come back to those in the present moment to do those and do those consistently as well. So I really want to encourage you to focus on that piece of it, to learn from this past year. And there may be circumstances that have happened in this past year that you couldn't control. But what are those moments? What are those things that have happened over the last year that you can learn from so that you can put that learning into your next performances and your next living out of your purpose and your calling? The second piece of that quote says to prepare for the future. And that's all about goal setting. It's all about thinking about what are the things that I want to accomplish in this new year? Who do I want to become in this new year, which is even more important than the goals. It's the journey of who we're becoming in that process. And so preparing for the future is all about waiting with confident expectation that those things that you really want to accomplish, the person that you want to become, can be realized and be a possibility. So how can you prepare for the future? And you have to be thinking about that and to write some of those things down. And then the third piece of that is performing in the moment. It's all about being present. It's bringing your best to each moment. And I think the combination of learning from the past, preparing for the future, and performing in the moment is how we become fully engaged in life. And as I mentioned on this channel, we're going to be helping you with that process from a goal setting process, and we're working on some of the course content for that, as well as the coaching that we're going to provide. But one of the references and one of the things that I do, and also in my goal setting, is a tip that I learned from Jon Gordon, and he's written this incredible book called One Word. And instead of goal setting, he works with organizations and works with people around just this one word concept, in addition to all the other great things that Jon Gordon does and speaking to teams and working with athletes and people. But this book is an incredible book, and it's the concept of just focusing on one priority or one word for the year and letting that be your theme. And whether you pick a theme for the year and thinking about, what that theme is going to be about, what you're going to really be about this year, or it's one word, I think it's important to think about that and to live that out. And in this book, he talks about preparing and discovering and then living that word out. And part of that preparing, I think, is he provides 3 questions. And I think they're relevant for us in thinking about, what do we need? And he talks about this question, what do I need? It's not like more stuff and what stuff do I need, but it's what are those areas of my life that need most attention? So part of that learning from the past that I mentioned earlier is discovering, what are some roles or areas of life that need the most attention for this upcoming year. And then he asked another question in preparing that for that one word and to receive the one word is, what's in the way? What are some obstacles that have happened in the past that can allow me to, if I move through those obstacles, or I'm aware of those obstacles and kind of mitigate what those obstacles are, then I can more likely step into what that need is and becoming, better in that area. And then the third question is, what needs to go? So there may be things that you're holding on to, maybe a past accomplishment that you've had, or maybe it's a failure that you've had in your past and you can't let go of that. Maybe it's bitterness. Maybe it's comparison. You're comparing yourself to other people, and you need to let that go and become your best self. And so in thinking about those questions, what do I need? What area needs most attention? What's in the way? And what I need to let go of? It allows you to more aptly receive what that one word is. And he mentions in the book, and this is very important to me as well, is that prayer is a part of that second phase of discovering what your one word is. And I always, not only in coming up with plans and thoughts and goals that I want to have, I take a step back and really seek God's help in this, because faith is a very important part of my life. And I think praying and thinking about, God, what are your plans? Let me surrender my plans, but I want to be open to what your plans and purpose is for my life. And I want to walk into that. I want to step into that and make sure that I'm accomplishing what he created me to do. And I would encourage you to do that as well as a part of this process, is to think about, what does God want to do in and through your life? And then the third piece of that is receiving what that word is, and through that discovery piece and the preparation piece, you can, I think a word will come to you. John's done this with many people, and his experience has been that word will come to you. There's a word when you look back and learn from the past and think about, what you want to do in the future and who you want to become, that word becomes clear to you. And then it's living that out. It's writing it down. It's having it as your screensaver on your computer. Maybe it's having it as your background on your phone. And then it reminds you of all the different ways that word can play out. I'm still working through that process now, but the word that keeps resonating with me for my goals and what I want to do and become in this new year is focused. I want to be focused. And I think that's going to play out in a lot of areas as well, but being focused will allow me to follow through on a lot of the things that have kind of been on my mind, and I feel like God's put on my heart to live out and to do this year, as far as making a deeper impact and a more meaningful impact in the lives of other people. But think about that, and like I said, we're going to be providing resources for you to walk through this, because this is just the first piece, thinking about a theme, thinking about that one word. But we're going to go deeper into how do you then take that and work on that process at a deeper level, but then also develop some goals for this new year and beyond. So be looking for some information on that on our website. If you're interested in coaching and helping you be accountable to this, walk through this process, if you might be interested in some courses, some online courses, as well as in person around goal setting and around becoming a goal achiever, you can email me at mike@mikevanhooser.com, or check out our website for additional resources as well as this channel. But I wanted to hop on today for the Coach's Corner and offer this process to you, because it's something that you can start doing now, and to think about who you want to become in this new year, and take responsibility for your life. I think a lot of times we get caught up in just allowing life to happen to us, allowing circumstances that we can't control to happen to us, to limit us in what we're capable of accomplishing. And we've got to bring our best every day, and we've got to make sure that we don't allow circumstances to limit what God wants to do in and through our lives, and to live out our purpose every day. So that's my encouragement to you today through the Coach's Corner, is to make sure you're focused on learning from the past, preparing for the future, but also performing and living in this moment and bringing your best every day to that. And that's possible by thinking about what is that one word that you want to be about in this new year, and then starting to think about how that permeates every area of your life and starts to seep into the goals that you want to accomplish in this new year. Make it a great rest of this week. Make sure that you recharge during this holiday season. Merry Christmas to you, and refocus and think about what you really want to accomplish in this new year, because I think God's got great plans for your life, and I think that you've got a sphere of influence that you can be a true leader in as well this year, and to truly make a difference with your life.